What if the airline loses your luggage? In this video, we're going to talk about how to avoid that from happening in the first place and what to do if it does happen. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark, and if you are new to this channel, I'm going to ask that you please subscribe by clicking my little face down there in the corner and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. This is a fun channel. We do a lot of things, lots of travel and visiting unusual places. And today, what we're going to talk about is what to do if an airline loses your luggage. Now, I want to start off by talking about how we can avoid having this happen in the first place. Now, if you're a frequent traveler, you may be making a mistake that could lead to the loss of your luggage. And even if you are not a frequent traveler, you may have made this mistake. Now, what happens when you check in with the airline, you check your bags, is they will give you a claim ticket. We're going to get to that in a minute. But part of that process is also a little barcode sticker that they put on your luggage in several different locations, maybe the top, the sides, whatever. And that can be scanned as the handlers are moving your bags from place to place. Now, one of the things we have to be really careful of is that we do not leave those stickers on. When we are done with our flight, or before we go on to another flight, check your bag and make sure that those barcode stickers are peeled off. And maybe you can avoid having that mistake send your bag to oblivion. The other thing that you might want to do is do something to make your bag really identifiable, and not just identifiable to you. When you look at my bags, they look like, any 100 other bags. I have the hard shell bags and they're black. So what I do is I have a lot of stickers on my bag. And it's not because I want the whole world to know I'm well traveled. It's so my bag can be easily identified. And it's not just for me, although that's very helpful. You can do other things. You can put a ribbon on the handle, or you can wrap a strap around it. By the way, I will tell you this, the straps, unless they're attached to the bag itself, just wrapped around will often get lost. I bought a luggage strap once, the very first trip. My bag arrived and it was gone. I don't know if TSA gets into it and then they don't bind it up again or what happened, but it got lost. So don't rely on that. But the second reason you want to make your bag identifiable, if it does get lost, one of the things they're going to do is ask you to describe your bag. And if you can say it has a big yellow bumper sticker that says, Niagara Falls across the front, that is going to make that bag easier to find. So make sure that your bag is identifiable. The second thing I'm going to suggest is make sure that you have your identification. Now, I have tags on the outside. It doesn't matter what kind of tag you have. I'm a big Disney fan, so I got some of the big plastic tags that they sell at Tower of Terror. But don't put your address on it. I have my name and my phone number, and even then, people can still track you down, I suppose. But if you put your address on there, it makes it so easy for people who might want to just key in on that and say, hey, here's a guy that's going to be gone for a few days. Let's go ransack his house. But regardless, don't only have information on the outside of that bag. Put your information on the inside of that bag. If the tag gets ripped off, if the bag gets lost and they have to open it up, you want identification inside your bag. So in my bags, they have the divider that has those mesh zippered compartments, and I always have a business card or a piece of paper in there, face up, so you can see it through the mesh, that has my contact information. That way, if the bag does get lost, they can find it. The other thing that we want to do is make sure that we are not putting things that are extremely valuable in the baggage. I pretty much limit the items I have in my bag that I'm going to check to clothing, toiletries, that type of thing. Don't put cash in your bag. Don't put computers. Don't put expensive cameras. All of those things should go in your carry-on. Not only that, but the airlines often will not let you put the computer on anyway if it has a lithium battery. They'll ask you to remove the battery. A lot of computers, laptops, you can't do that. But more importantly, you don't want to damage those items. And if it gets lost, you don't want something that has all your information, like a computer, in someone else's hands. So my carry-on always has my computers, my camera, any cash that's not on me personally will be on my carry-on. I want that to stay with me. Now there is a drawback. Sometimes when you are getting to the gate, they want to gate check bags because they'll say the overhead space is full. One of the reasons, by the way, to upgrade. You want to keep your bag with you whenever possible. In that case, take all that stuff out. Take out your camera, take out your computer. In many cases, my carry-on is almost empty, and I have a handful of stuff because I have to make sure that I carry it with me on board. But in any case, the things you're going to check should not be items of high value. All right, so you've done all the right things. Now, the next thing we have to be careful of is that we hang on to our claim checks. Now, in many places and with many airlines, you check the bag yourself. In other words, you tag it yourself. Southwest Airlines is really a big one for this. You go up to the kiosk, you check in, that big strip will print out, and then you put that around your bag. Make sure that you keep these baggage claims. Now, what this is stuck to is my receipt. So I have my baggage receipt here and my bag claims here. We'll get to a minute why we do that. But you want to hang on to that. Then check and see if that strip that came out has those little barcodes. If it does, peel them off and stick them in different locations on your bag. If the bag tag would come off, if any of those barcodes come off, you want them to be in several different locations. If you do these things, you're far less likely to lose those bags in the first place. Now, I'm going to put your mind at ease. Most bags do not get lost. They get redirected, and you will eventually get those back. A very small number of bags actually get lost, and if you follow some of those safeguards, like making sure that your name and contact information is both outside and inside the bag, you will reduce the chances significantly that you'll be one of those people that lose their baggage permanently. So let's say now we get to our location and our bag does not arrive. Or, like what happened to me recently, I had a family emergency and I had to turn around. I got to my location where I made a connection and I had to turn around and come back home. So I was told by the gate agent, your bags didn't make it. Your bags are going on. And I thought, oh, great. So the reason she knew that was because I had my claim checks. And I always keep these. People ask me sometimes, well, Mark, why do you get a paper boarding pass if you have it on your phone? I do it for a number of reasons. Number one, phones are notorious for crashing or, your battery goes dead or whatever at just the worst times. So although I generally use my phone, I like to have a backup for paper. But if I don't get a receipt, like Southwest, you get 2 free bags, I like my boarding pass so I can stick these on so I have everything in one place. Otherwise, you'll still get them. They'll just be in 2 or 3 pieces of separate paper, depending how many bags you check. So in this case, I checked 2, so I have 2 claims. So my bags went on to another airport, or so we thought. The first thing I did when I got to my home airport is I went to the baggage claim office. Where will you find this? Usually, they are desks right in the baggage claim area. Right by the carousels, if you look around, there's usually a desk or an office that has your airline sign over it. If you can't find that, go to your information desk and ask them where the baggage claim office is. The first thing they ask you is, do you have your tickets? You want to have those claim tickets. It makes their job so much easier. What she told me this week is, oh, your bags are going to be coming down. Somehow they did get them off the other plane and onto the plane that I was on. But at both ends, they will ask the same question. They'll say, can you describe your bag? And oftentimes they'll have a big chart, like a folder, and has pictures of all different kinds of bags. So I told them their 2 bags are hard shell, they're black, one is 26-inch, one is 22-inch, and they have round stickers, red, blue, and white round stickers down the sides, down the front of the suitcase. That made it so easy for them to pick out that suitcase if they had to find it. Another thing you want to do is download the Airline's app. Even if you're not a frequent traveler, download it, use it for the trip, and you can get rid of it. It's great to have the app because one of the functions is track your bags. And you can see here I'm going through the app. In this case, I flew United. And we eventually land on a place where I can scan this in, either with the camera on my smartphone, or I can just key the number in, and it will tell me where my bag is. I just love it. It's kind of fun when you're on the plane and then ding, your phone goes off. Of course, your phone has to be shut down once they close the doors. But usually you're getting seated and it'll look and it'll say, your bag has just been loaded on the plane, and then ding, and another one comes up with the next number. You know, this bag has just been loaded on the plane. And it's neat that you can track your bags, and you can see sometimes if the bag didn't make it. And that's good information to have as well, because you might be able to tell them, well, you know what? I never did get my notification that the bag was loaded on the plane, and it might give them a starting point as to where your bag might be. Now, what happens if you get to the airport, you go to the baggage claim, and you're not as fortunate as I was, and your bag is not coming? One of the things they're going to do is want to contact you. So leave your contact information, because when the bag arrives, you have to be able to get the bag. Now, the times I've lost my bag, they have delivered it right to my home. Ask for the report, a copy of that. Ask for a phone number with which you can call and follow up to check on the progress of your luggage recovery. Ask them if they're going to deliver it to your hotel or your home. Now, in most cases, they will do this. I live almost 30 miles from my home airport, and I have, on several occasions, have them deliver my bags right to my front door. So always ask, what is the expectation? How are you going to get my bags to me? Now, you've paid money in order to have them take care of your bags, so you should expect reasonable service. I have found, as long as you approach things with a level head, let them know, hey, my bag hasn't arrived, could we look into this? And that's their job at the baggage claim office. They're used to dealing with it, and let them do their job. Try not to get upset with them. Oh, one other thing I should mention, make sure that you're at the right carousel. Oftentimes, they will be changing the carousel where your flight is. So there's 2 places in most airports where you can check. The first place is somewhere there's probably an arrival sign, you know, one of those signs that tell when all of the flights are coming in. And usually on that sign, it will say what baggage claim you can expect to find your bag at. Also, there are usually signs above the carousel itself. Oftentimes there are 3, 4, 5 different airlines all coming in on the same carousel. So make sure that you are watching. Also listen. Oftentimes they'll announce the bags from flight 1, 2, 3, 4 are now going to be arriving at carousel 6, even though the original information told you it was carousel 12. So keep your eyes and ears open. A lot of times it's not that your bag was lost, it's that you are at the wrong location. And finally, it's possible that someone will grab the wrong bag and take yours instead of their own. Again, this goes back to make your bag identifiable and make it easy for someone to see your name on the outside as well as the inside. If someone pulls it off and they say, oh, I didn't have that sticker, or, ooh, that's not my name. People don't always check the piece of tape, the paper tag, but if you have a nice big plastic protected tag on there, it really helps your bag from getting taken. Now, let's say you've done all of this, your bag is truly lost. Well, you're going to have to file a claim with the airline. So make sure that you kept a good paper trail, that you still have your claim tickets, that you have that report that you filed, the phone numbers, the name of the people you talked to, the times, the days, all of that information. When you file that claim, it'll be so much easier and far less likely to be rejected if you have all the detailed information. Now, there is a limit to what you can be compensated. Different airlines may have different limits. I'm not sure what it is right now, somewhere around 350, 375. And you want to get everything you can because you're not only having to pay for your luggage, but for the contents of that luggage. And they're only going to reimburse you so much. So make sure you're not putting unreasonable items in that luggage, family heirlooms, or cash, things that really can't be recovered. So I hope this helps you in situations where you might lose your luggage. Rest easy. Most of the time it's just been redirected somewhere else and you will get it back in time. One last hint before I let you go. Carry, essentials in your carry-on. I always have like a toothbrush, deodorant, and a change of basic clothes, underwear and maybe a t-shirt, something like that. That won't take up a lot of room, pair of socks. But if you're stuck for a day or two in a strange city, you can still get by overnight in a hotel or whatever without having to go shopping necessarily. All right, thanks for joining me, everybody. As always, if you have comments or suggestions or want to share your experience, leave that down below. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. As I said, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I'm Mark with the Average Me channel.